Hey, this is James Malinchak, featured on ABC's hit TV show Secret Millionaire. I am co-author of the top-selling book Chicken Soup for the College Soul and founder of the website BigMoneySpeaker.com. And welcome to the Success Show. And I am so jazzed and so fired up because I've got my friend Martin Fischer here. Martin, welcome, brother.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be interviewing you. And his website is okay, you ready for this? Waiternomics.com. That's waiternomics.com, and we'll get into that in a second. But what I want to talk to Martin about is I want to interview him and have him share with you the great business teaching and coaching and strategies that he has for his clients. So, Martin, first of all, again, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, James. Really appreciate it.
And I want to really dive into, you're in information marketing.
Correct.
And so what is information marketing, first of all, and then why do you love it, and why do you love helping your clients?
Well, information marketing is just the idea of sharing very valuable information that individuals, business owners can put use in their business. Why I like sharing it is because throughout all my years, I have a plethora of coaching, education, tens and tens of thousands of dollars that I've spent, which is extremely valuable. I love it because it's very, very easy to share, and it's highly, highly valuable.
Yeah, you know, that was one of the things that was new to me when I got into information marketing. I had no idea that one of the greatest things that we could do is what's up here and take our time, our knowledge, our experience, our wisdom, our how-to advice, and put it out in the form of products and services, whether it's books, CDs, DVDs, coaching programs, consulting programs, seminars, live events, and put that out to really help educate and turn people's lives or their businesses around. And so I know you did a book and you created a coaching program sort of following that same blueprint. Sure. And so talk a little bit about that, why you did your book, why you started with your coaching program, and just kind of like what you're doing to help folks.
Well, the book was actually rather easy. I was a little intimidated initially, but the book is just Waiternomics. It's my story, basically, how a native Las Vegan, who worked as a waiter, worked his way all the way up through real estate and ultimately to information marketing. The coaching program was just a natural progression after that because I wanted to share it with as many people as possible.
And so what type of person watching would know if they're a good fit for you and that you could help them?
Well, the type of person watching, I feel, with someone who has been frustrated with information overload, who doesn't know where to start, who needs a base and foundation as to what do I do, how do I do it, and how do I implement it.
And so any particular niche or industry or topic, or just someone who kind of fits that like you just described?
Well, it's definitely the business-minded person. Someone like myself, I always had a job, and that job was the front end to all the other back end. I used and leveraged the daily income. Whether you're a hourly worker, entrepreneur, business person, I have the assets and the tools to definitely help you.
Now let's talk about some challenges people face. You already kind of got into one of them, you know, maybe information overload,
Yes,
if you
sir.
will.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know, I've been there. I'm sure you've been there too.
I have, and still am.
Most successful people are. You know, somebody said, "Boy, I bet you can't wait until you retire." And I'm like, "Retire? What is that? Why would I, number one, want to do that? I love what I do. I love information marketing. I love coaching my folks." And number two, I mean, I'm not the type of person just going to sit around and watch soap operas. You know, I'd rather be learning and getting more information coming in. So, you know, being that way, I have a tendency to overload, and then it's like, oh gosh, what do I do first, second? How do I get started? That's one of my challenges. Are there any other challenges that you see like prospects or coaching clients have that you help them with?
Yes, definitely information overload. I share with my clients what I personally do. I don't have a TV. I average one book a day.
You read one book a day?
One full book a day.
On business or just various topics?
For the most part, business, nonfiction, predominantly business. I learned that from Dan Kennedy and being at your event. So I'm averaging about a book a day, which is about almost 300 books a year.
Wow.
I don't respond to email for the most part, and I spend most of my time reading and being productive.
So basically, you show your coaching members how to get laser focused, how to prioritize, how to plan, create almost like a blueprint, help them create a blueprint for possibly making more and having more time off and having more free time to enjoy life by arranging different aspects of their life and or their business in a correct manner.
Exactly. I've mastered turning frustration into freedom. And kind of just leveraging the frustration into more freedom, just taking the problem and working on the solution.
Most people master taking the freedom and turning it into frustration, right? They're getting overloaded and too much on their plate. Do you also find one of the challenges is that people have a tendency to say yes too much to things rather than maybe evaluating?
Most definitely. I think the most powerful word in the English language, James, is no. No to demands on your time, no to opportunities at times, but no. And really staying laser focused and specific.
And that's what I understand you help them do. And that's what you do through your teachings of whether it's your book, whether it's a coaching program, some sort of information, DVD, CD, whatever that might be, is you take this, for lack of a better way, scattered mess, and help to organize it in a methodical, logical format, a blueprint, if you will, a recipe that helps the person by saying, hey, do this first, do this second, do this third, and maybe only focus on these 3 or 4 things and kind of push everything else to the back burner, correct?
Exactly. It's the escape plan and staying really, really focused. And the escape plan is applicable to a plethora of businesses across the board.
You know, one thing that I know both you and I are big on is coaching. And I have a saying that all successful, wealthy individuals have coaches. If you look at the most successful athletes, entertainers have vocal coaches. Right. They have coaches in the form of managers that help create their career, their positioning, their brand. Whether it's a basketball player, they have shooting coaches. Mixed martial artists, the top mixed martial artists in the world have various coaches. Right. You know, boxing coach, jiu-jitsu coach, grappling coach. You know, so how important do you think coaching is when it comes to maybe helping someone figure something out? Because so many people tend to go, I've been doing this 20 years. I don't need help. I don't need somebody to help figure this out. What do you say to that person watching who maybe has never had someone coach them before? And secondly, maybe they fall into the, I've got so much experience and so many years under my belt, I don't need any help.
Well, how I respond to that, James, is everybody needs a coach, myself included. I've done fairly well, and this is dating back to high school. I knew then, into my adult life, that coaching is the top priority, and the best investment you'll ever make is in yourself, and that's with coaching.
You know, it's so amazing that if the most successful and wealthy folks have different coaches. Even, you know, wealthy investors, they have different coaches that coach them on different strategies of investments, right? Right. Then doesn't it make sense that everybody has coaches? And why do you think some people don't?
Well, I agree. Everybody, it's absolutely imperative to have a coach. I think they don't because at times they're stubborn. They have the know-it-all mentality. Reading a book a day has enlightened me to the concept of coaching, and each book I buy, I try to extract as much information out as when I take personal coaching, and I'm still being coached to this day.
You know, I had the privilege and the honor of having a lunch with legendary UCLA basketball coach John Wooden.
Wow.
Several years ago at his condo in Southern California, and as we were talking, I asked him, I said, you coached amazing players, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton. I said, what made them great? Because obviously they had amazing talent. And it shocked me. He said, what made them great is they were so coachable. He said, these were two of the greatest players ever in the history of the game. And the reason is because they were coachable. They listened to me. They listened to our coaching staff. They didn't think they knew it all. They listened to other players. So the first thing a lot of folks have to realize that if you want to go from here to here, you've got to be coachable.
Right.
You can't be oh, I got it, and I got a person. I got it. I gotta do it all on my own. Second thing Coach Wooden told me was what has become one of my favorite quotes of all time. Coach Wooden said, "It's what you learn after you think you know it all that counts." Okay? Wow. So if the greatest in the industry, of any industry or niche, use coaches, then why don't you? I mean, I do, you do, so
course,
everybody should. Final question for you.
Sure.
How do your clients use your strategies, number one, and number two, what kind of results do you typically see them getting when they start to actually allow you to coach them and create blueprints and recipes for them?
Well, they typically get outstanding results because they get access to me. They get all my years of, number one, experience, hard work.
And probably failures.
I'm just gonna say failures, and the Lord knows I have failed. So,
which is how we usually learn. And somebody watching might go, well, yeah, well, I'll just do it on my own. I'll fail. I'll get experience. No, the worst thing you could do, okay, experience is not the best teacher. Other people's experience is the best teacher. So someone like yourself who's already gone through things could not cut their learning curve in half, but probably cut it by 90% and save them a lot of time, energy, effort, and maybe money wasted failing on their own.
Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. I wouldn't trade my experience for anything. I would have enrolled in more coaching if I knew then what I know now.
www.waiternomics.com. Waiternomics.com. This is my buddy Martin Fischer, and I'm going to give you the last word, which is tough for me. So parting thoughts, words of wisdom to the person who's listening and watching right now.
Well, thank you first and foremost to Mr. Malinchak. I wouldn't have traded this for the world. But the best advice I can give that was given to me is the best investment you'll ever make in your life is in yourself. And that's coaching. So
I agree 100%. And that's all we got to say about that. www.waiternomics.com. Martin Fischer, my man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.